Once again, we are back on TikTok Boond Soch की train of thought with a series of episodes with Wing Commander Pankaj Bajaj, who has been there with Indian Air Force for more than a couple of decades, followed by Pawan Hans and now with JSW State. Sir, welcome back to
Thank you
this
so much,
episode
sir.
again. Now, normally, if you see the civilians and if you see the part of an armed forces also, the discipline and the mindset, I think it's very, very crucial and very, very important. Now, how does the armed forces discipline shapes a person's personality for a life?
So one thing is there in defense forces when we say uniform, it is not that school uniform which makes you similar. It is the uniformity of behavior which comes in with your training, which makes you, become part of the system, align with the system within a span whose width is not much. So everyone is expected to behave and act and shape their actions in line with the training that has been given to them. So over a period of time, it becomes a skin which you're wearing.
Correct.
And then subsequently it becomes part of your life.
And that's very crucial, basically how the attire is there, that shapes your personality to a certain extent.
Yes.
And many a times we have seen when I was a part of an NCC also, we used to follow all the protocols of how you need to be dressed, being a part of NCC and all probably, good, great. Now, what daily habits from Air Force life still guides you today? कोई ऐसे incidents हुए होंगे जो हमें अभी आपके दिमाग में ऐसे कि habits ही बन गई है. So what are those like?
I mean, sir, I still remember I was a very chubby child and I would, play a lot, but still I had a lot of weight on me. But when I came to the forces, within 6 months, they took the juice out of me like the sugar cane and produced a slim and trim personality, which I've tried to inculcate over a period of time. I may not be that successful as you look at me, but still, sports was something which added on to my personality, and I became a very good squash player in the defense forces. And it gives you a lot of time and opportunity to follow your passions. So that got amalgamated in me, and I started following a lot of passions, whether it was writing, whether it was playing, or whether it was cooking also at times, because when family was not there, you have to do that. So I believe it made me look at the people, learn from them, and reach out in the similar way that I adopted all these things. It was a complete lifestyle growth which happened, sir, not compared to a specific job oriented growth.
Now, if we'll see various even MBA institutes are talking in terms of corporate culture and all where the discipline and the mindset plays a very crucial role. If the discipline are there, I'm sure the process and everything people will follow. And if the discipline is not there, then there is a grey area which are there. And when we talk in terms of mindset, what kind of a mindset you see if you see in armed forces and in civilians?
So in defense forces, I said that uniformity is there and sense of belonging is there. And you as a person see when the other person is doing it, why can't I do it, or why I should not do it? You ask yourself this. And more or less, you always align to the way it is supposed to be done, and taking lead from others, you also start doing those things. In civil, it is left to you, more or less, and it is advised maybe once or twice, and thereafter, you are free to decide. Here, you are constantly being guided till it becomes a part of you. So that is the difference in civil and defense, that here in defense, they ensure by regular guidance, regular support, that you start acting in the manner which everybody is expected to behave.
Also, if you see in armed forces, if the leadership is there, no one can doubt on leadership.
Nobody does.
And you have to say, yes, sir. Beyond that, nothing. You have to follow the process and all. But if you look at the corporate world, normally there is some disagreement over there. Sometimes the employees, they feel they are much more superior than the bosses. So then the conflict arises. How one can overcome those kind of conflicts?
And the conflict management is one of the strong points in defense forces, sir. You get opportunities to express yourself. Even if you feel that, leadership has given some order, first is follow it. But in case you find that, okay, this needs a little bit of tuning, fine-tuning, correction, you are given a platform to express yourself, whether formally or informally. And more so, you will find that people do it informally, evening walks, they meet, they discuss. A lot of social, gatherings happen in which people discuss these things. So automatically things get looked after. But in civil, what happens is you will find that beyond the office interactions are not that much in which you get the opportunity to express yourself. So there the conflicts may arise.
Okay.
So system is so well oiled in defense forces that conflict management happens as part of the routine, and the best decision is taken which is beneficial for the organization and the country.
Great. It's a great learning like for the corporates from the armed forces discipline and the mindset which are concerned. So one more question, how important is the mental resilience in defense services like?
You require a lot of resilience in terms of the challenges that you face, as we discussed earlier also, the challenges which you face on daily basis. And I'm not talking in terms of flying as a profession because there are other professions also. But in every system there are challenges. And challenge is one thing that you've been taught. You're mentally made strong right from the beginning when you go to the NDA. What is NDA? NDA is training you, but what are they training you for? They are shaping your mindset. Similarly, if you come through the CDS or direct route, they give you 6 months of ground training, which is particularly hard physically and mentally, in which they're training you to have that mindset that you don't give up. And if defense people start giving up, then what will happen to the security of the country? So you are mentally tuned, mentally trained, and that is what comes to your support in your life also when you have challenges. So resilience is built into you, and then you use that resource to shape up the decisions which you take in your lives.
Good, great. Anyone listening to Wing Commander Pankaj Bajaj, like it's basically in terms of discipline and the mindsets, like it's basically if you try and follow the process and all that becomes your habit, and once you form a habit, I'm sure I think it's a very good contribution towards the nation and even as well as the corporate which are concerned, and even the MBA students who are listening to Wing Commander Pankaj Bajaj, I'm sure like in terms of discipline, mindset and the resilience, there's a lot of learning which are there. Do catch up with Wing Commander Pankaj Bajaj in our next show of T Talk with Boond Soch. Sir, thanks a lot for inviting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.